Thank you so much for joining us, Stephon, to talk about your cinematic debut. Very exciting. My Other Home is a biopic of your journey from New York to Beijing, and really part two of your basketball career after leaving the NBA in 2009 and rising to stardom here in China. But tell us why this is more than just a sports movie.
It's an inspirational movie along with it just being a sports movie. It's a lot of, I would say, perseverance, going through a struggle and trying to get back into playing basketball at a high level, a mixture and blend of interacting with a completely different culture. So this story is pretty much about coming to China after leaving the NBA and playing basketball here and winning the championship for the first time in Beijing. After, you know, they've 29 years they waited to win the championship, and that's pretty much the story. Is
there a particular theme in this movie that you think will resonate strongly with everyone, including audience members who are not fans of the Beijing Ducks?
The movie is for everyone. It's not just for the fans in Beijing. I think the fans in Beijing, they get a deeper appreciation for it because it happened here. But I think the story in itself, you know, it's a story about basketball, it's a story about unity, togetherness, a mixture and blend of interacting with a completely different culture. All of the different characteristics of the Chinese culture is put inside the movie. Being that it's a global picture and it's a co-production from America and China, you know, the thing that's unique about it is its style, the style of how the movie is going to be shown, whereas the Chinese audience, they're used to watching English movies and reading subtitles. But with this movie, you have some Chinese as well, so you're not being lulled into reading the whole time. You can actually relax and you'll hear the Chinese inside of the movie, and then it becomes English translation for the Chinese. So it's kind of cool.
And are you speaking Chinese in the movie at all?
I say like 1 or 2 lines.
And what are those lines?
Quiet.
Okay. And do you think the movie also has like this theme of redemption or second chances?
Yes, it's definitely redemption. I don't want to tell everything, but it has redemption, it has second chances. I mean, that's part of my story, so I think people will become fascinated with that part. Because it shows the ups and the downs. You know, the movie is very archy. It was shot in the formality for people to cry and for people to smile and for people to laugh and for people to just be like, oh man, I can't believe that happened. So it's all of those different mixtures of what you will want to watch inside of a movie when you go watch it.
And speaking of crying, you do cry in this movie. It gets pretty raw and emotional. So tell us how you had to prepare for that.
Meisner and Strasberg is 2 different types of techniques that you have to learn, what actors learn, and I was actually learning both. And before the crying scene, I asked to shoot a master, and I did it in 1 take, the crying scene that I did. My acting coach was basically just getting me into a space, 2 days prior to me doing the crying scene to get myself prepared enough so when I got on camera, it would resonate and people would be able to actually feel that feeling of what I was feeling from doing that scene. And it actually took me a day to get out of it.
Wow.
So, it was kind of hard, but at the same time, we got the shot, and once we got the shot, everybody was really excited because I never acted before, so everything was brand new. Nobody knew what was going to happen. Nobody knew how it would come off on camera.
Like really tapping into yourself.
Yeah.
And that's what I think is so interesting about this film, because it is a biopic, but unlike other biopics such as, the Steve Jobs movie, Capote, or Bruce Lee, where you have other actors playing the legendary characters, in this film, we have the man himself, Stephon Marbury, starring as Stephon Marbury, which is very unique. So what was that like for you?
It was difficult. It was really difficult because there were times when, at the beginning of shooting, like the first 2-3 weeks, once we started to shoot, like I would want to do it a certain way. He was like, Stephon, this director was like, Stephon, you have to realize we're talking about you, but that's not you. Like, this is a movie. This is not a documentary. This isn't about, you know, how you think this is supposed to come off on the screen. And it had to like click in my brain, like, okay, so I can't walk like this. I can't say certain things and how I would say it. So it was a little difficult at first, and then once I realized that this is what I had to do, I just adjusted.
And if for some reason you weren't available to do this film or play yourself, who would you choose to portray you?
Who would I choose?
Yes.
I like the guy, the kid, Michael B. Jordan.
He was in that boxing movie, right? Yes.
He's pretty cool.
All he'd have to do is shave his head.
Basically. Basically.
Okay. And it's got a pretty star-studded lineup, I would say. Yourself, Allen Iverson, Baron Davis playing themselves, also Korean pop star Jessica Jung. I recognized another name, Godfrey Gao, and
Vivian Dawson, Frankie Faison.
How was it like working with everyone else?
It was great. It was so good. You know, they all brought their A game. Everybody came wanting to be a part of something that was going to be brand new in the movie industry. You know, the movie is coming out in August during, you know, the lock period where it's just Chinese movies. It's pretty cool. It's not, we don't have to compete against Transformers or Wonder Woman or, you know, any of those other movies. And everyone was aware of, you know, what we were doing, you know, in making this basketball movie for China.
Now, you talked about acting and how it was a challenge to tap into that energy, to bring up the raw emotion. What other things about acting was hard for you, and what did you find came naturally?
I found everything hard.
Okay.
So let's just get that out the way. When I first started, now I look at it now and it's a lot easier because I know how to do it. Before I did it, you know, I was stressed out, like completely stressed out for like 2 days because I had to do like 3 or 4 monologues. And then my acting coach, he was amazing. He was so good because I didn't know how to do it. And then he was like teaching me all of the steps and the formalities of how you break down the beats and just everything. And then once I started to get it, he was like, man, you're getting it so fast. And I started to catch on. And I didn't have no choice really, but like it was one day I was like, I'm not going today. I was like, I'm not going. I was like, I'm not going. I don't want to do it today. He was like, yo, you're going. You're going to do it because there's money being spent, there's people waiting. I was just like, oh my God, it's so much. And then the 12-hour days, and for me it was a little bit more challenging because I did all of the choreography for the basketball part. You know, I really prepared for the movie, and me doing I did a play, I did a musical here, and that really helped me. I think stage is way harder than a movie. It's just completely, it's the same thing, but it's completely different because it's way more pressure, you know, to perform on stage because you can't, when you mess up, you know, you got to keep going. It's not like you can say cut and then do it over. It
was the 2014 Chinese musical, I Am Marbury.
Yes.
And that musical was also inspired by your life. Do you think that put in a seed in your mind for the creative direction for this movie, or that it led you to want to do this film? Yeah,
I mean, it was part of the transition. You know, this is the transition for me as far as after basketball, retiring, and then acting, doing other things of this sort, TV shows, announcing games, but being, you know, able to do this movie and for us to be able to go to the Shanghai Film Festival and have the movie shown at the gala, I think that it will open up a lot of minds of what it is that I'm capable of doing. So everything was pretty much inspired by the musical after. So being able to do that, people was like, oh, you really can do this. It wasn't like, we don't think that that's your lane.
And you certainly are doing a lot. You have your own line of shoes, Starbury, and you're also quite active in the philanthropy sector. So do you think acting, now that you've had a good taste of it, this is a direction that you want to take eventually?
Definitely. I really would like to do this. It was actually fun after I did it. The movie, it wasn't fun doing it.
During?
Yeah, during it wasn't, but now that I know, and you know, after seeing the results and seeing the movie, you know, you can actually see all of the effort and all of the work that went into it.
Because now you have a finished product that you can show your kids, show your grandkids.
Yes, my kids are in the movie as well.
Oh, they're in the movie as well? Okay. Wow, and you have 3 kids, right? And also recently became a grandfather. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Does this make you want to spend more time back home because they live in the U.S.?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I always want to spend time home because of my family. But, you know, for me, coming to China and building what has been built here, this is home as well. And they understand that, they know that. So this is all for my kids, for my grandson. I work to make sure that I'm able to position them. You know, it feels good to know that if they ever wanted to come to China and live in China or work in China or do whatever it is that they want to do, they have access to be able to do so.
What are you hoping that the movie will ultimately achieve, and what do you hope audiences will walk away with after seeing it?
I would like for the movie to allow people to come together through a black kid from Coney Island who went to foreign land, and not only went to foreign land to play basketball, created a platform that, you know, no one has ever created, but more importantly, it was how it was created. To come to a country and to accomplish all of the things that have been accomplished, it shows that this can happen anywhere. You know, it's not just in China or going to America. To be able to be pushed by doing something that you love to do and playing basketball and allowing that synergy to actually touch other people and allow them to be motivated to fight for their dreams, to go for what they want. People will feel that feeling. They will get that feeling when they watch the movie. I think they will be inspired. I think people will really enjoy it. You know, when they seen it, my friends seen it, they was like, wow, you really can act. Like, it's good, it's really good. I was like, yeah, I really think it's good? They was like, yeah, it's good. And the producer, she was like, Stephon, if it wasn't good, we would tell you. Trust me, don't worry. It would be just like, oh, okay, it's all right. But, you know, they said we did a really good job.
I look forward to watching it, Stephon. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
All right.